How about now? I think that should be working better. And I think I need to change the delay. Properties, advanced audio properties. Nope, there's a delay. Okay. Okay. How about now? And then I can turn that off. I was really hoping to update my computer. I got it at some awesome, cool. How's the, like if I'm gonna clap in just a second. Let me know if that's on. Like if the sound of the clap timed with the actual clap itself. Because I have to have a delay in here just with the way that the whole setup works. And you know what? My it's dumb. My desktop capture stopped working again. So what happens if I press that? Is that gonna do anything? No, that's not gonna do anything. I need to come back into here. Nope, not there. And then I have to deactivate that, so it'll disappear for a second, and then activate it again. There we go. So again, let me know in the stream if it being the desktop that you're looking at stops responding. So yeah, I'm not moving the mouse at all right now, but otherwise. Okay, so what I was trying to say is I do want to get into adding the WebdriverIO test framework, which I had done a little bit of work a while back, or 2 weeks ago, on this basic test here. So we'll jump into the test, and it just jumps into this page, which is here. And then I think it goes all the way down here. Yeah, and it toggles the buttons. And it should switch between the first and second radio button. So I want to keep writing some of these tests, but first I want to see if I don't need headphones if I'm not listening to music. First I want to see if so they mentioned that the React website is powered by Netlify. I want to see if I can work out where those settings are and if we can get them hooked into here. So let's see what's under show all checks. So what I want to do is, this is their Circle CI page that basically runs their pull request and does a bunch of stuff. I want to see how open do they have this? So in Circle CI, like any CI, all branches, no projects. I don't think I can add a project. No, I can't. It would just be under builds. Oh, golly. GitHub org, and then what I'm trying to see is where they do the publishing. Merge master. So if any one of these would have published, it would be in here. This is cool. This runs all their jest tests right here. Pretty cool. I don't see anything in there as far as publishing out to Netlify. Okay. I could jump into, they probably have a Circle CI folder. Yes, they do. And they have a YAML config. And so in here, they have a build job. Let's see, that's the only job they have. Okay. It doesn't look like they published to Netlify using Circle CI. So that's not going to work. What else would they use? A danger file. Sorry. Let's see. Let's just search Netlify. might be under commits. Delete.netlify. I wonder if they just manually publish this. Or maybe they have it all stored in their Netlify account, and it all handles it through there. Okay. Oh well. I think I'm just going to skip through this. So that pull request is still out there. I'm just waiting for some information on getting the account stuff set up. What would they need to do? Don't know. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there. The next thing I want to do is write these WebdriverIO tests. Wonder how much you can hear my kids in the background. They're pretty loud. Oh, and it doesn't help that I had my gain turned up, so you could probably hear them even better. Okay, let's see. Where to get started? So I've got this test here. How do I make this a real thing? That's always the trouble with tests. You can write tests, but making them real things that really get run and everything. I think what I want to do is actually use Circle CI to run a test against the Netlify page. Yeah, that was a lot to think about. Input change. So if I come here, so this uses browser stack. I wonder if I could get away with just not using browser stack to begin with, because that's yet another thing to set up. If I could use Chromedriver Docker. So basically, this will create a Chromedriver server that runs via Docker. And so the benefit of this is it would run entirely within Circle CI and wouldn't have to have any other account set up. Yeah. It's always so. Pardon me while I just check some things. Okay. Man, I always have such... This is one thing that I really struggle with. And I was thinking about it last night. When you finally get the time to work on things that you really want to work on, you're just so afraid of messing it up. Of not doing the right thing or not doing it in the most efficient way. And so you, or I do, just sit there and I'm almost paralyzed in getting the stuff, in getting the work done, because I'm just too afraid to actually do the things that need to be done. So that's why I like lists. They help me stay focused on what I want to work on. So if I come here, then this would be set up the example repo. So I kind of already did this. So I will do like a done. Yeah. Set up the example report. The other problem I'm having is there's this really bright light right here, and it really helps with the lighting, but it makes it really hard to see a dark desktop. That's not that great. So I'm going to see if I can just reach up here. Sorry if my arm gets in the way. I just want to move it just a little bit to not be quite so awful. Okay. I think that works a little bit better. Ah, they're blinding me. Maybe I need them higher or something, or adjust my brightness on my monitor. No, my brightness is as high as it can get. Maybe I need to not use a dark theme, because these lights are really blue. They got a lot of bright white light. Yeah. Oh, the joys of live streaming and trying out editing and videos and all that. I really want the video to look good, because I've seen a lot of streams where it's just not quite set up, and I've done a lot of streams where it's not quite set up right. I just don't like, I'm not too happy with the results. Anyway, so what I want to do today, add WebdriverIO test framework to React, set up the example repo. I typed report, I meant repo. Set up the example repo to run via Circle CI and use Chromedriver Docker service. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. So what I want to do is first run Docker service locally. So I do have Docker set up. My Docker is running. You can get Docker set up by going just docker.something. And then they have a desktop, I think. Yeah, Docker Community Edition. So you'll come in and download Docker CE for Mac if you have a Mac, or Windows, or if you're on Ubuntu, or whichever of these that you're on. And that's going to give you this little Docker service that runs in the background. And it'll have a little toolbar. And I guess in Windows it'll have something else. But yeah, so that's a kind of prereq of this. Now we want to run the Docker image. So we want to use Docker Chromedriver. So I need to get a terminal window up. File. Get that up here. And this was it, right? Yeah. Resize that. Okay. And I want to run Chromedriver. Next thing, there is a WebdriverIO Docker service that is pretty darn cool. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and install that. Whoa, does that? Oh, that's neat. And when you click it, it copies to your... I really like that. Not only do you not have to press a button to click, it's just as soon as you move over, it shows you what you would have done. It's a really neat little interface. And then when you go to click it, it just says, hey, it's copied. That's pretty cool. Okay, so the Docker service is useful for starting a Docker instance or Docker image when your WebdriverIO tests run. So I'm going to install that. And then I need to get the service running. So I'll come back over to Sublime Text, jump into my configuration file, and under services, I want Docker. Okay. And then I need to do a little bit of configuration under this Docker options. I'll do that here. So we'll specify our image. Here they use standalone Chrome. Standalone Chrome is a little bit different from Chromedriver. Standalone Chrome uses Selenium standalone, but it tested in Chrome. We are just going to use Docker, the standalone, not standalone, just Chromedriver straight up. Health check, it checks on 444, but that's not the port that Chromedriver runs on. Chromedriver runs on, it says 444 here, but I don't think that's the truth. Let's go into the Docker file and let's see if we can parse out what port it supports. Oh, okay, so it does run on 444 here. They update it. And options, so this is forwarding a port. SHM size, I have no idea. I guess that's just the size of the virtual memory to load. So I'll leave that there. Now I can come up to here and I'll just comment that out. And then I am going to run in Chrome. And it's going to test in Netlify. Okay, let's try running this and see what I can get. Oh, you know, I'm in the wrong repo. Yeah, that's good. I should be in WDIO React example. Whoops. My bad, my bad. I need to run the install again. And then run my test again. And I missed a comma. It happens. Just a reminder, say hi in chat. If you're watching this after the live stream's over, leave a comment in YouTube and let me know what you're working on, or if you want a bad pun. I've got some bad puns. Let's go with the bad pun here. Why don't some couples go to the gym? That's a really good question. I don't go to the gym with my wife, but a lot of couples don't go to the gym because some relationships don't work out. Anyway, what it's doing right now, it's downloading that Chromedriver image, and it's probably a pretty big image, so we just have to wait for it to download first. But this is a good sign that it actually is running the service, the Docker service, and trying to run the Chromedriver image. Yeah. What we'll probably do when we use this in Circle CI, we'll probably not use this Docker service and instead set up the service via Circle CI, because that's got a little bit more of a built-in way of getting things running than this one. So yeah, we don't want to worry about that. I think what I will do is just for testing, I'm going to create a new project here. So that's that, that's that. I don't want an organization. I kind of just want, what if I go here? So while this repo is, oh, there it is. Worked. Huh, that was super fast. One thing that I'm curious about is when I run this, if I can actually see, actually I should do that differently. Oh, yeah, you actually can see it pop up. Now, okay, so that was running on 444. My one worry is that I have Selenium running somewhere, and so it's just falling back to that. There was actually a way of, let's see, Selenium standalone. In their docs, they have a way of determining if you have a Selenium instance running. Where was it? Error, another Selenium process is already running. So I can come into here and anything like that. The other thing I can do is check out localhost 4444. And this, yeah, this is what I was expecting. It wouldn't return a site. So let's, I'm really curious. I don't trust that this actually worked, but I'll do a browser.debug in here. And that's gonna stop the test execution and do, okay, I don't. Let me do timeout. Go into my Mocha timeout for 60 seconds. I'll change that to 2 minutes. And that should give me enough time to validate that this host starts returning. Yeah, so it should unauthorized access. Okay, so it did start returning. That's cool. What? Where is it? There it is. Cool. And yeah, it seems like that worked just fine. That's almost a little bit surprising. I like that. So if I come back here, yep, and it can't be reached again. Okay, that's neat. So I actually do want to do a quick video explanation of that sometime. Of the Docker service with Chromedriver, just to get that working. Because there's always different things in your setup that can cause issues, and so this is a way of being a little bit more consistent and not having to run into so many different issues out there. Okay, so this is the Chromedriver setup. I can get rid of that. Let's go back to this to-do list of mine. What I'm going to see, first run Docker service locally, done. I wish there was a, how would I get like a check mark emoji? This is important things right here. Let's do check mark emoji. Can I paste this into, boom. Look at that beautiness. Beautiness, is that's not a freaking word. And then I can get rid of that and just throw a check mark right there. I don't know if I validated if this works, but, oh, look at that. Oh, the spacing is a little off. Okay. Next, set up circle CI. Did you hear, that was too bad, sorry. I was gonna do a pun, but then I realized it was a really bad one, so I didn't say it. I just didn't do it. Yeah. Okay. So now I want to get Circle CI running. I'll log in with GitHub. Add a project. I don't want to be under there. I want to be under my seal. There we go. Okay. WebdriverIO React. Oh, that's so far over. I hope I'm on the right one. Linux node. And let us in here. Come on. Why did you not hide the sidebar? There should be a sidebar. Oh, I better don't have a project added. Add folder to project. There we go. So now I'm going to create a new folder in here called .circleci. And then in there, I'm going to create my new config.yaml file. Okay, so there's two things I'm going to need to do to get this set up. I need to have my Chromedriver service that gets hooked into my my Chromedriver Docker image that gets connected to my test. So the first thing I'm going to do is download my repo. I can get rid of that. We'll use node 7.10. I don't think that's what I want. What version? 8.9. That's what I'll use. 8.9. Okay. Working directory is just going to be there. Check out my code. This checks to see if we've already installed. So this just kind of speeds up your stuff. I don't want to run yarn install. I just do npm install. npm is good enough for me. And then run my tests. So when I upload this file, what I'm going to get is an error when trying to run my tests. Hopefully I make it that far. Where I get an error when trying to run my tests because Selenium can't be found. Selenium instance can't be found. So I save that there. Let's come back into here. And one thing I was wondering about is, oh well. Do my status, let's check what's changed. So I added Docker service in my configuration file, and then I added browser.debug. I don't want that there still. And commented that out, that's fine. I added the Docker service, which I can actually remove. Don't need that. Same thing here. Don't need that. And then I timeout, that's fine, I can leave that there. Okay, that's all pretty good. I'll add this, and then I will commit to add Circle CI integration. And then push that up. And I start building. So there's my latest build. Now it's created the environment. Ooh, that was an issue. So I think I don't need to set the working directory. let's try getting away with not setting the working directory. All right. So I'll just add and then do a git commit amend, GCA, git commit amend. It's just a quick way of kind of updating a commit with a small little change that I don't want to worry too much about. So now if I come back here, we're going to have another one running. Okay, so that worked a lot better. So that checked out the code. There was nothing to restore in cache. We'll save the cache later. So it's going to run all my npm installs, which loads Chromedriver. Why does it load Chromedriver? Do I have that in my, I do. So I'll remove that, I don't need that. Chromedriver service, browser stack service, Docker service. Get rid of those, I don't need those. Mocha spec, I do need those. I'll take that out and take that out. And then was I actually using chai WebdriverIO? I don't know. Let me see. Expect to be true, to be false. No, I wasn't, so I can remove that as well. Okay, and then it ran, and this was the exact expected issue, which was that it couldn't connect to Chromedriver. This worries me a little bit, but I didn't have Chromedriver service set up, so it should be fine. Oh, I must have pressed save. Oops. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay. So it tried connecting. I'm wondering why it tried connecting to that port. I would have expected it to try to connect to the 444 because that's the default. And I don't have the port set anywhere, do I? I do. Oh, I knew it was too easy. Yeah, so this wasn't actually using the Docker service, even though it was starting the Docker service. So that's good. It just wasn't using it. So I'm going to come in and what I want to do is say if we aren't in Circle CI, if we aren't on a CI system, then use the Chromedriver service. So here, I will do else if. Actually, not the Chromedriver. Well, I was gonna say not the Chromedriver service. I don't know. I'm not gonna change this. Now that I think about it, I'm not gonna change it. I need to go back down here, and I'm gonna comment that out. Yeah, that's fine. I'm wondering to myself if I want to go back and validate that the Docker service still works, but I think it's fine. I'll go with it being fine. Okay, next up is I'm gonna set up a secondary image. So in Circle CI, 2 images, Selenium. Let's see if I can do this. Selenium on Circle CI. There has to be a good example. All I need is a basic example. So it says that's all you have to have. I don't think that's true. I feel like you have to open some ports between the two. Image, and then run. Interesting. I guess I can just try that. Under image, and just add a second image. And that's all they do. You can pass in some extra stuff, but I guess if it's already there, Standalone Chrome. Okay. Then I'll go back to my image that I had, which was that. Cherry Chromedriver. And let's try that. Add. Come back in here. So this should actually run a little bit quicker because it's already done the npm install, although I have changed my, let's see if it, yeah, restoring cache. I don't know if it's going to reuse the same cache. Looks like it did. Yeah, it basically used the same cache. Okay. Unknown command hub session. That's okay. That means that it found the server. The path to the hub is incorrect. And I think that's just because in Chromedriver it doesn't have a one. So if I go back to my configuration file down here, you see I set my path to just slash. So I'll uncomment that out and set my path to there. And then let's try this one more time. And we come back here, we've got another one running. And it's downloading all the images. You saw that it did start that other image. So it started this Docker Chromedriver image, which is cool. We have a test running. Can't find module. Okay. That is pretty good. The error was just because I changed things that I shouldn't have been changing at that point in time. Try Webdriver. So I can just uncomment that out. Or not uncomment that out, remove it. And then come back here. Try Webdriver. And push that up. We have our image running again. Let's see how this test runs. Awesome. It ran. It ran inside of Chromedriver using that setup. So that was, I was expecting that I would have to expose in here the port to WebdriverIO to use, but I guess it just automatically does it through Chromedriver. And I wonder if that is Chromedriver part of their Docker file. Yeah, well, expose, yeah. So they expose it themselves, that port in there. So right now I've got this example repo that runs a test against here. It just toggles this and makes sure that the radio button switches between the two. And I've got this running in Circle CI. So I see a couple folks just joined, and I want to kind of recap what I just set up. I'm trying to get this repo available to actually be inside of the React code base. But to do that, I need to have it run inside of Circle CI because they actually use Circle CI for their stuff. And if we jump into here, you can see one of their steps is to test the packages. And they do that by running it through Jest. And so I want to add a step to run the WebdriverIO tests. And to do that, you can either use a third-party Selenium service like BrowserStack or Sauce Labs, or what I just got set up is using this Chromedriver Docker image to start it up. So if I go back into my Circle CI file, I get a base node image, and then I start this Chromedriver image as well. I run my install, and then I run my npm test, which is just running the WebdriverIO command through this configuration here. So that's that. I think what I want to do now is switch down here to, instead of using the Chromedriver service, I want to use the Docker service. So I'll change this to Docker. And then I need to not do that. I need to do WDIO config. And the benefit of using Docker is it's easier to stay consistent. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Okay, so I come back in here and set my Docker options equals. So that's going to download the image. I get a health check to make sure that it's running, and my ports. And the other thing I want to make sure is that this isn't in Circle CI. So I need to check out Circle CI environment variables, because there is one in here. Whoops, not there. Not using environment. There. I don't know which ones already exist. I don't have it. Maybe it's in there. I know the page. It's in my mind what I want, what I'm looking for. There. CI. I'm just going to set it to CI. So else if process.env.ci does not equal true. So this is saying if it's not on a CI system, then run this locally. I wonder what happens if we don't have Docker. So I'm going to try running this locally. And I'm going to move this up here to be wd/hub. And then all the way up here, I'm going to set my path to be just slash. And the reason for that is whether I'm on Docker using the Docker service or through Circle CI, I still need to use, because I'm using Chromedriver, I still need to use just the root path instead of the WD hub path that Selenium uses. So in here I use WD hub because I'm using BrowserStack, and that's what they use. So okay, so I'm going to run this real quick locally, and I'll run npm test. Unauthorized access. Yeah, that's the issue I was getting before, wasn't it? Why? I do need to make sure I still have, I'm gonna reinstall that service. And then the other thing I'm gonna do is just a full nuke of my npm repo and reinstall everything. And let's try this test again. Unauthorized access. Run the container and expose Chromedriver report. If you want to restrict the paths. Yeah, so I'm thinking it has an issue with this. Why? So it should allow access from my local side of things. Let's try starting the service all on my own. So now if I go to localhost 4444 slash, Docker ts. So it's running, and it's using that. Well, I can just comment this out and try running my npm test again. Let's see if I get that same error. I don't, but I do have an issue here. So Docker stop. I just want to stop this container. Okay, so I don't have the container running. Hi, Alexander. Thanks for saying hi, and I'm excited that you switched from Nightwatch over. Nightwatch is a really cool project, but I do much prefer WebdriverIO just because it has a lot more built in for you than Nightwatch does. So that's exciting to hear. Hopefully your experiences have been pretty good so far. Since you decided to say hi in chat, let's throw a pun your way. Ooh. Do you know I lift weights only on Saturday and Sunday because everything from Monday through Friday it's a weekday. It's very weak. Cool. Glad we got that out of the way. Yeesh. Okay, so what was I doing? So I'm trying to get Docker, this Chromedriver Docker image. I can get it running, but I'm having issues connecting to it. So this restricts access to local connections by default. If you want to restrict the ports, see, that's the command that I ran. This only sets 444. And then this allows, this would allow all. So let's try this one. Already used by container. You have to remove. I can get rid of that name. Not too familiar with my Docker commands. I've done it a little bit, but oh, it's because I set it to latest? No, I had it at latest before. I was a little surprised that it still did Chromedriver there. Why are you taking so long? Okay, let's see if it's up and running yet. Nope, not running yet. Entered running state. I mean, that's what we want, but usually it kind of settles down at some point. And so it's running. But I can't reach it. Why is that? And then if I, Docker run. Oh, I think I should have set it as passed in the D for, I think it's like a daemon, so that it kind of runs in the background. So -D. There, yeah, that's what I need to do. So that it runs in the background and doesn't hold things up. But it still didn't fix the issue that I can't reach that repo. And this is so weird because I was able to get this working just fine in here. without having to do anything. That's strange. Okay. So if I do docker ps, I guess I'll stop this one. What I was trying to do is allow you to run your WebdriverIO tests through a Docker instance, Docker image of Chromedriver. That way, if you have issues with your local Chrome setup, which is actually a common thing to have, then by running it through Docker, it kind of settles things down and has a very consistent environment for you to test on. But I seem to not be getting anywhere right now. And the problem is I just don't know enough about how this is all set up. Maybe this port isn't correct. That's forwarding on. But that would be defined. Yeah, I don't know enough about how this is all set up in order to really debug it all that well. Yeah, so it defines the Chromedriver port. We have whitelisted IPs. URL base, and it exposes 444. That's strange. Anybody out there know Docker enough to know why it would be forwarding that port to 444 instead of the 444 port? Oh, unless... Let's try running this again. No, that didn't work. Yeah, those are the same. That's what I kind of expected. I think I'm just going to throw my hands up in the air on this one and move on because I'm a little bit lost. So what am I going to do instead of using the Docker service, actually, let's try this one more time. Yeah, that's synonymous with each other, so that should just be fine. Ports. I wonder if that port isn't correct. But it should be. Expose the Chromedriver port on all interfaces. That's what should be run. Let's see if I've got my Docker. Okay, so that container is running, so I want to stop the container because I'm just gonna hope that this setup works, even though I'm pretty sure it's not going to work. So let's run npm test. The Docker service, what it does, it starts a Chromedriver instance for you. Yeah, this was the issue I was getting before, is it's responding back with unauthorized access. So there's something going on in there. Yeah, that's just not allowing it to go through. So instead, I'm going to come down here and I'm just going to say running Chromedriver, and then the other thing I need to do .config set the port over to the Chromedriver port, which is 9515, I think. I have to look up the Chromedriver service. So 9515 is the port, 9515, cool. And that's in there. So, got my service. This should now work, although I do need to reinstall that service. So I'll take out the Docker service. I'm not going to use that. I do want to do a video on it when I have more time to debug, but for now I'm not going to worry about it. I am going to install the Chromedriver service back. I just deleted it a while back, but kind of don't want to do that anymore. And then I'll run npm test, and this should start Chromedriver locally. Could not initialize, could not find module Chromedriver. npm I Chromedriver also needs to be installed. That was the problem there. Okay, so I'll add back in and I'm basically hoping just to settle in on this as a stable configuration. So if I come back to here, my example, I'll have one more running, and this should just run and pass just fine. So let's see. And then let me know if you have any issues with the stream with it stuttering or any audio issues, anything like that. It's hard for me to know on my side. I do have a little like good status, but it's hard for me to know overall how that stream is looking and how the audio is, just because it's hard to do both things, both stream the stuff out and consume it on my side to test it all. But okay, it looks like it ran fine in here and it runs fine over here. So I think this example repo I'm going to go ahead and kind of leave as is for now. Yeah. And what I want to do next is basically start writing a pull request to add tests, to add this, essentially this test into the React code base. And that's going to be fun. Awesome. Thanks for the heads up, Daryl. Glad that's working. One thing that I did, I had to turn off the background. I had this really nice little background movement video that would just loop through. And I really liked the look of it. The problem is it was just killing my PC, the processor. It wasn't a great, it's not a great processor. So yeah, it was just killing it. So I was hoping to upgrade my computer, but when I swapped the hard drive out, I ran into some weird BIOS motherboard setting thing, and oh, it was beyond my pay level to figure out. So okay, so yeah, I want to get this test in here, but the problem is we've got a few configuration files that are going to be neat. We're going to have to edit some pretty in-depth, pretty critical, I guess, files in the React codebase. We'll want to update their package.json because they have a test command here that runs jest. So we'll want to add another test command that runs the web tests. Then aside from that, we'll be wanting to add a configuration file, wdio.conf.js, into here. So that's in the the base folder of the React code base. And then we'll need to update the Circle CI build to basically say here, run test entry point. What's that do? Script Circle CI test entry point. Run our WebdriverIO tests, which if you go to scripts, what was that? Circle CI, test coverage, test entry point, commands to run. Huh. Let me think about this. So there it runs the tests of all the things. And what does this do? This checks to see what index? That's weird. Yeah, so this is really scaring me because I don't really know what all this is doing or why it's doing it that way. Okay. And the other thing we'll need to do is in the packages, they have their test files. Inside a source, they have a test folder that lives inside of there. So ideally, we would have a, oh man. I don't know if I want to have the tests in here. Like these are all unit tests basically, like small unit tests. I do like having that inside of the relevant package. So for React DOM, you have your test in there, and for React Art, which I have no idea what that is, it has its own tests here. Actually pretty basic. Ooh. The other thing I could do is just keep it in here inside of this DOM folder. So source, they don't have any tests in there. I don't think we want tests inside the source. We would want basically a test folder in here. Quick set of DOM tests, because that's what this is doing here, is it's just testing that DOM fixtures page. If we look at configuration, where's the URL? Yeah, it's just testing the DOM fixture. So I don't know. What's in here? So that's the original issue. So alternatively, versus adding it to the overall package JSON, I can come in and add it just to this DOM package JSON. Test environment JS DOM. I wonder what that runs through. React scripts test environment JS DOM. Do they have anything in here? Doesn't look like it. Yarn start. Yeah, it doesn't. It looks like they have a test command, but I don't think it actually does anything. And I can validate that. So if I come over here and I go up to just React, and then get the latest. Actually, this is pulling for mine, so I'll go into fixtures, then DOM. It'll be there. So I'll go run yarn test. So if this doesn't do anything, no test found related to files since, let's try running all. And there's none. Okay. Cool. So basically, I think I could get away with rewriting this command to just use WebdriverIO. One thing that I'm wondering is if I'd need to have this run through React scripts. I don't think so, because why? React Dev, React scripts. They have their scripts in here. There's the test command. And that uses jest. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit of a break and think this over. So I'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. Put up my little be right back screen. And does that screen have my video? Media source? Why are you not running? Okay, so I'll be back in about 5 or 10 minutes. Goodness gracious. Well, the problem is I've had this issue before. Advanced audio properties. It is delayed. Okay. Well, I wonder how long that's been going on for. Are you happy to hear my son crying now? Jeez. How long did I not have audio going? Was it since my break? Because that'd be just terrible. Talking to myself. I mean, that's what these live streams are, basically. Me just talking to myself, but... Goodness gracious. Okay. I'm turning on... Yeah. Now you probably wish that there wasn't audio with the screaming in the background. I'm going to turn on some background music. Hold on a second. This computer is not the fastest. I'm trying to replace it, but not getting to all the time. Or not getting to... I've had the hardest time getting Windows set up. Yeah. It was you joining, Michael, that caused the issue. The Call of the Wild. Let's play. Okay. I've got some background music going. You should be able to hear it. I think so. If I pause you. Yeah, you can hear it. Okay. I'll turn it up just a little bit. Okay. Oh, gosh, dogs barking. I couldn't work with dogs barking. Anytime I step outside to work in my backyard, I get my neighbor's dogs barking at me, especially when I get semi-close to the fence. And it's just too much. And Michael, yes, it is always your fault. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is get React, install and run a React build for a pull request. And I'm trying to do that with create the working with the, and I'm having trouble right now. Is this permission denied. Maybe I should do Docker permission denied. Yeah, that's what I need. But I don't want a private repo. Maybe this is it. This is my best leaf blower impression. You ready? How was that? Let me know. No, that's not the same issue. What if I do React here? Flailing into the wind with these ideas of mine. No. Truthfully, leaf blowers aren't that hard to imitate. Okay, Michael, you get a pun. You know how annoying people are with puns. I had a friend tried to annoy me with bird puns, but I soon realized that Toucan play that game. Did I even say that name right? Toucan? Toucan, yeah, I think I got that. So, having issues right now with this git clone. So what I might do instead is a copy command, react to react, and then there. Can I clone inside of a clone? Can I have a git repo inside of a git repo? Well, where's my circle CI? Birds of England. Okay, I'll be sure to check that out. I do enjoy some bird puns. You know, some people like to plan their bird puns out, but I usually just wing it. I made that one up on my own. Check out the code. How's it check out the code? Okay, so it does use git to fetch the code. I can have a repo within. Yeah, git submodules. I don't want to do git submodules though. I just want to, let's just do this. Throw caution to the wind, even though there's not much caution to be had. Not much of a risk here. I could go up a directory. Oh, I forgot how ginormous this repo is. But that's okay. See, I don't, well, yeah, I could use this. I can use this. Delete that. And then, okay. So I'll set my working directory to React. I copy my local React to the Docker React folder, set my working React. Okay. I think that's fine. I think that's fine. What I'll do in Circle CI when I go to run it is, let's call this build React. And this is going to be my React DOM. Oh. How am I going to pass that in, though? See, I do need to figure out how to run git clone in there. But if I run this build, it should work. Okay, so this is, it works if I copy in the React folder. I prefer my lyrics in 3 words or shorter. You can get up to 4, but if it's 3 or less, real quick, that's it. Just come in, tell me what you want to say, keep it short, and get out. And then get back to the music. And maybe loop it. Just loop it, because I don't want to hear anything else. You only get 3 words your entire song. But this does beat kids screaming in the background, so. Okay, so I'm going to have to figure out the User foo works. Good. It's the best time to jump into a 3-hour live stream is right at the end. That's when I'm loopiest. Actually, yeah. Yeah. So let's get into some Docker file documentation. Docker docs. What is in here? Compose file, Docker file, reference. What do we have? So it's from an image. I've already got the image. Run. Okay. Maintainer label will run from add? That's a user, right? Copies new files, directories, or remote files from the source and adds them into the file system. That's kind of similar to copy, but I don't think it's quite the same. User group to use when running the image. Build. Oh, this arg is going to be useful though. You ever Docker McDocker dick 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 duke. Okay, we've had a request for Mo music. You didn't say crank up the volume. Crank it up. In my Docker file, I do. So here, instead of env, I'm going to do this arg, get URL. Arg! Get rid of that. And then I do want that git clone to the current directory. I was at a hockey game the other day, and they had, basically it was the newer version of Y'all Ready for This. And Y'all Ready for This used to be the intro song for the Spurs for the longest time, and they changed it out after people grew quite tired of it. Oh, is that so? What if I just do that? I don't know Docker at all. But I do know how to search on GitHub or on Stack Overflow. Should do the command in directory where I have right direct. What you waiting for? Oh, from Rocket League. I need to play more Rocket League. I have to preface this with Docker. This is groovy. Man. Can I, like, what's up with Docker folder permissions? just don't know. So maybe I need to go into the shared directory. Let's try this. Working directory is /shared. That's not how you do it. I had it before. Workdir. Workdir. Still nothing. My desk is always such a mess. It's disgusting. Off. Oh, this is a very long post to read just to figure things out. Have you noticed that your ability to read blog posts has just gotten shorter and shorter and shorter over time? Basically, when I see something like this, I'm just looking for anything that has a white background that's color-coded, because that's really the important part. And then maybe I'll read a little bit above and maybe a little bit below to see what it's talking about. But actually reading the entire blog post that the person wrote, it's a lot of work. A lot of concentration that I don't have. Exactly. Just tell me the exact thing that I need and let me be on my way. I think, you know what ruined it is Stack Overflow. Because nobody's going to read a full blog post on there. You're just going to kind of look around and see if it looks useful. Group add the Docker group. Okay, so what is this? How to solve permission problems for Docker in Ubuntu. That looks specific to their thing. Who is calling me? Why is he calling me? Doesn't he know I'm... Yeah. Sorry, dude. If you want to talk to me, you got to get on my live stream, buddy. Is it you? What is that? What's Docker info? Storage driver. Is there a storage driver? Do you see a storage driver in here? I don't see a storage driver in here. Oh, I do. But it's overlay 2. And it uses XTFS, which is not... Yeah. Okay, so that's not it. Yeah. Docker clone git repo. What do? They make a directory. So see, I should be able to make a directory. Can I not even do that? I can't even make a directory. Something's wrong. See, they just use it just fine. Maybe I need to jump over to the home? Maybe I'm... no, but I mean, they make their directory off of root. Yeah, I can't either. That's not the problem. Okay, that's not helpful. What if I create like a TMP? Can I do that? Where did you go? There you are. Maybe it's... Could it be Circle CI that's the problem? No, it's not that. File exists. Oh. Sure, I'll use an equal sign. I didn't mean to type the equal sign, but I did. So I'll just use that. Ha! Okay. Get not found. What do you mean? Jeez. Okay, so I fixed one problem and introduced a new one. What Docker images have Git in it? A simple container running Alpine Linux. Does this have Node? I need Node and Git. No, this just took me to the GitHub page. Not that it actually has Git in it. Well, there's Node Alpine. That's what I'm using, Node Alpine, and it doesn't have Git. I could install Git. Not that hard. Yeah, that's what I thought it would be. Hey Gavin, how's it going? It's actually pretty cool. I like the Rocket League soundtrack. I should listen to the second one. My son would like it too. Maybe it's not sudo. Maybe not. I mean, it could be. And there's been this fly. There's this fly that buzzes around in my office. Apt get not found. So Alpine, okay. That node Alpine is not running Ubuntu. And that makes a lot of sense because they want to basically run it as small as they can, and Ubuntu is pretty, it's got a lot of weight to it. So now I've got Nats as well. What are they using from Alpine 3.4? What's, jeez. Alpine Linux. Ooh, we're going down the rabbit hole. APK. That's what I want. What's that? Run APK add. Let's see if that's a command. Probably do want to update it. Seems to have installed. Ah, that is the package. Oh, that fly. Flies, they're just so darn nimble. And they just fly into your face and fly away. I was telling my son, he said something, he remembered the saying, time flies when you're having fun. And that reminded me of my middle school long distance running coach, who said, in the words of Kermit the Frog, time's fun when you're having flies. I kind of wish Kermit was around to come eat this fly for me. My son, he has a toad in his room, and maybe I should just release it in here, and it would eat the fly. 'Cause I think toads eat flies. Toads eat a lot of things. I feed it some weird things from around my backyard. But there we go. Okay, this is farther than we've been before. Couldn't find a package.json file. That's because we need, no, we're in there. What do you mean you couldn't find a yarn build? That doesn't make sense. Now this should run a little bit faster, yeah, because it skips through. Okay, so I'm not in React at this point. So when if I come here, I'm still not in it. So it basically like, what if it basically ignored this this command and was just like, whatever, I'm off on my own. I'm gonna go back to the way things were. I don't like change. So that's correct. Okay, so I'm just gonna need to make this more permanent thing. So I think what I'll do is cd react. I'll just take the easy way out and concat all these together. And yarn build. Yeah. Yes. And yarn start. Y'all ready for the weekend? Y'all ready for this weekend? That was good. I gotta give it. I pat myself on the back for that one. Let's do another pun. You know, I wasn't originally gonna get a brain transplant, but then I changed my mind. Well, we could have bad puns or funniest puns. Oh, that's a really bad one. Did you know people in the medieval days, they were always hanging out by the gallows? That was bad. You can lead a horticulture? What? These are all good signs here, by the way. That it's actually doing the install. So now it's jumping into the DOM fixtures and building it all out. You can lead a horticulture, but you can't make her think. Oh, God. It suddenly hit me. Jesus. He would not approve of that. I think he would. I think he's a cool guy. He hung out with whores. Okay. Woot. Let's see if this will run. Finally. Where'd my little command go? Docker name. I don't need to give it a name. It'll just create one. Let's see what that does. Error. Still laughing at that one. Okay, we got a new issue. Basically, something like that doesn't work. Entry point. I don't have to use yarn start here. Basically what I could do is just take this, the result of this, and, oh, that's disgusting. I caught it though, but now it's smeared all over my hands. Ew. Entry point. I don't know if I need. Okay, let's do a. What's Docker run? No. Docker run CLI. Okay. Options, image, command. So if I run. These are my options, those are my images, and then my command would be ls-ltar. It should have ignored the entry point. Overwrite the default entry point of the image. I don't think it's gonna work. I need it here. Executable file not found in path. What does that even mean? Okay. I'll just change this over to ls-ltar. And I'll rebuild it. It should run faster to build this time. Shouldn't take as long. And now, if I run my command, I should get the entry point. Maybe I don't want to use entry point then. Oh, I wanted that one. Where is entry point? Executable param. Oh, so that's one of the issues. Yeah. See you, Daryl. Thanks for hanging out. And have a great weekend. I'll see you next week. I'll be back here again at 2 p.m. next week doing this fun stuff all over again. That's what I'm doing wrong with that. So I think I need command instead of entry point. Command 3.4 execute command param. Only one command. Defaults for executing container. That's what I'm doing wrong. I need this to be like that. Let's try running this again. Should have gotten the results from that though. Oh well. Oh, if I just do ls, what's that do? Nothing. It does nothing. Just nothing. Nothing. Again. I want to figure out what folder I'm in. Default command is used to provide default arguments for the entry point instruction. Both command and entry point instructions should be specified in JSON array format. The kids have returned from outside. Echo, this is a test. What's that do? What's this do? I'm gonna combine these now because I got tired of doing both. And no, there. I did nothing. Oh, you know why? I know why. Because I'm running it as a that. daemon. I think that's how you pronounce the word. There we go. Okay. So in that case, I want to come back here and do my lsltar. Okay. So I do need a CD into that. So maybe I can just do that. And then here I'll just run yarn start. Let's see how that goes. And while I do that, I'm gonna see if I have my, okay, I don't have any other images running at this point in time. I was wondering if I had a couple left over from before, but I don't. Starting the development server. So in theory, I can go here and it would load, but that's not how it's working. On my network, at least, I should be able to access this. But there's no guarantee on that. I might need, okay, let's go back to that Chromedriver image. Check out here. Expose 444. That's all they did was just expose 4444. 4444. There's a dumb little lawyer, dumb little lawyers in San Antonio. It is 444444. That's his number. Anyway, okay, that doesn't seem to work. So I'm gonna come back here, end that. How do I stop it? Stop it. Docker quit container. No. Yes. I guess I'll just, yeah, I'll do that one. Docker ps docker stop react. Will that work? No. I have to do the actual thing. There we go. Okay. So it should be exposed. That's weird. Expose. Port. The exposed instruction forms Docker that the container listens. You can specify whether the port listens. TCP. That's fine. You know, I wonder if that was on a different port. I wonder if I could have accessed it there. I don't know. Okay, let's go back here and then I'll run this as a daemon. Oh, I didn't need to build it again. That's okay. Now if I go docker ps, let's see what that does. Localhost. Aha! And I think that was the issue. Yeah. So I need to say link those ports up. Oops. There. And I'm almost finished with today. Been a long day. So here I'm going to get rid of that. Docker run. In expose, yeah, I can automatically, no, maybe I can't. Port to port. Specify the port. Ah. What does the big P do? Docker run, yeah. Those are ports. I need the capital P. Give me the P. Maybe a space. Publish all exposed ports to the host interface. Okay, so I don't need that. I do need this, and it should be 3000 to 3000. This should load. Yes. Okay. That's cool. I think that's a pretty good stopping point. Let's save this for next time. Over here. So this is the command I want to run. I'm going to stop that. And I can close that. I can close that. I don't think I did anything here. Oh, these are all wanting me to save it because I changed my directory name. I basically deleted it. Okay. Good. That's the command to run the server. Perfect. And I'll jump back into, where did it go? Oh, I do want to do that. I'm going to remove that React folder before I forget that I don't need it anymore, because it does the git install for me. I thought I had a to-do list. I mean, I had it open. Yeah, React to-do. Oh, that's just in my base repo. Okay. Darn. I didn't save it. Blah. Oh well. So next time I am so this will be continue with Docker React build out. Run tests against Docker circle CI. Okay, so this is what I want to do next time. I can delete that. I'm going to delete that because I don't really want to think about that. Add WebdriverIO tests. How about create WebdriverIO tests for React DOM fixtures? There. That's what I want to do. Continue with Docker React build out. Run tests against Docker container. Cool. I think that's good. I got it to run finally. Let's push this up. That'll be the last thing I do. Status add Docker file for building fresh React DOM fixtures server. Bam. There it is. And there we go. Okay, folks, thank y'all so much for watching. I hope you'll have a great weekend. And apologies for the audio issues. I seem to have an issue where when I go on break and I come back, not only does my desktop capture stop working, my audio also drops out. So I'm gonna have to remember that. And I do want to spend some time and hopefully upgrade my computer that I'm using for streaming my service from. And go from there. So anyway, I'll see y'all next week.